I just got the email. A new group project.
And how do you feel?
Honestly, like my stomach just dropped. It's a lottery. Maybe I get a great team. Maybe I get a team where I have to do everything myself. Or worse, a team where one person takes over and I can't get a single idea in.
So for you, a good project depends on good luck.
Doesn't it? It's all about the people you get assigned. You just have to hope they're responsible.
Most students believe that. They think the secret to a good group project is the people.
And it's not?
The people are important, but the secret to a good project isn't hoping for the right people. It's creating the right system with the people you have in the first 10 minutes.
A system? We have a month to do the project. What can we possibly do in the first 10 minutes that changes anything?
You can change the entire game. Most teams start by talking about the topic. What should we do? What's the title? They jump straight into ideas.
Right, that seems logical. Get started on the work.
It feels logical, but it's a trap. It's like starting a long road trip with 4 drivers who have never met, and everyone just starts shouting out directions.
And nobody has looked at a map.
Exactly. The best teams don't talk about the topic in the first 10 minutes. They talk about the rules.
Rules? That sounds a bit strict. Like, I'm not the teacher. I can't set rules for other students.
It's not about being a teacher. It's about being a team. Think about any sport. Does it work without rules? The rules don't make the game less creative. They make the game possible. Most student teams try to play a game with no rules. That's why it feels so chaotic and unfair.
Okay, so what's the first rule we should talk about?
The first conversation is about roles, but not in the way most people think. The common belief is that you need to pick a leader.
Right, someone has to be in charge.
And why does that often fail?
Because either nobody wants to be the leader, or one person wants it too much. They become a boss. They start telling everyone what to do.
And then the rest of the team checks out. They just wait for instructions. They stop thinking. The leader ends up doing most of the work and feeling resentful.
I have been that leader. It's exhausting. And I've been the quiet person on the team, just waiting to be told my part. It's boring.
The new way to think is this. Don't assign a leader, assign responsibilities. In the first meeting, the most important role isn't leader, it's organizer. Someone whose only job is to make sure the plan is clear and everyone knows what they are doing. It's a job, not a position of power. And then you decide on other simple roles. Who will be the final editor? Who is in charge of research? Who will put the presentation together? You delegate these roles clearly.
So you're saying we should break the project down into jobs?
Exactly. Not just the work itself, but the work of managing the project. You give everyone ownership of a piece of the process. So instead of one boss, you have a team of managers.
That makes sense, but it still feels like the work itself won't be shared equally. Someone will always get an easier part.
That brings us to the second turning point. The common belief is that we should just divide and conquer. You take this section, I'll take that one. See you in 3 weeks.
Yes, that's how it usually goes. We split the work into pieces.
And what's the problem with that?
You have no idea if the other person is doing their work, or if their work is any good. And then, at the last minute, you try to stitch all these different pieces together, and it's a Frankenstein monster. The tone is different, the quality is different, it's a mess.
The problem is that the process is invisible. Everyone is working in the dark. The new way of thinking is that everything must be visible to everyone, all the time. The work must be transparent.
What does that look like in practice?
It's incredibly simple. You create one central document, a Google Doc, a Trello board, anything. In that document, you have 3 columns: to do, doing, and done. Every single task for the project goes into the to-do column.
Every single task? Like find 5 articles or create slide 3?
Every single one. And beside each task, you put a name. When someone starts a task, they move it to the doing column. When they finish, they move it to done.
Wow.
Now what happens?
Everyone can see what everyone else is doing, or what they're not doing.
Exactly. There's no hiding. It's not about checking up on people in an aggressive way. It's about clarity. If a week passes and someone's tasks are all still in the to-do column, the team can see it. You can have a conversation early. Hey, I see you haven't started on the research yet. Is everything okay? Do you need help?
That's so much better than the panic 2 days before the deadline when you realize someone has done nothing. It's not a personal attack. It's just looking at the board together.
The board tells the story, not you. The system does the heavy lifting. A transparent process protects the team from surprises.
Okay, I like the idea of clear roles and a transparent plan. But there's still one big problem: decisions. What if we can't agree on the main idea for the project, or on the design of the presentation? Arguments can tear a team apart.
This is the third turning point. The common belief is that decisions should be made by voting. Majority rules. It seems fair.
It's democratic, isn't it?
It is. But what does a 3-2 vote really mean in a team of 5?
It means 2 people are unhappy.
Exactly. 2 people who now feel like their opinion doesn't matter. They are less likely to be engaged, less likely to contribute their best work. They are now outsiders. Voting creates winners and losers, and you can't afford to have losers on your own team.
So what's the alternative? We can't argue forever.
The new way to think is to aim for agreement, not victory. You don't need everyone to love the final idea. You just need everyone to be able to live with it. The goal is consensus.
What's the difference?
A consensus isn't about finding the perfect idea that everyone adores. It's about finding the idea that nobody hates. The discussion continues until every person can say, okay, it's not my first choice, but I can support it. I can get behind this and do my best work.
That sounds slow.
It can be slower at the start, but it is much, much faster at the end. A decision made by consensus has the full energy of the entire team behind it. A decision made by a vote has the energy of the winners and the silent resistance of the losers. That resistance will slow you down later, with missed deadlines, low-quality work, and arguments. You pay the price eventually.
So how do we do that? How do we reach a consensus?
You have to ask a different question. Instead of who likes this idea, you ask, can anyone see a major problem with this idea? Is there any reason this idea would fail? You focus the conversation on improving the idea, not on defending personal opinions. You work together to sand down the rough edges until it's something everyone can accept.
That sounds slow.
It can be slower at the start, but it is much, much faster at the end. A decision made by consensus has the full energy of the entire team behind it. A decision made by a vote has the energy of the winners and the silent resistance of the losers. That resistance will slow you down later, with missed deadlines, low-quality work, and arguments. You pay the price eventually.
So how do we do that? How do we reach a consensus?
You have to ask a different question. Instead of who likes this idea, you ask, can anyone see a major problem with this idea? Is there any reason this idea would fail? You focus the conversation on improving the idea, not on defending personal opinions. You work together to sand down the rough edges until it's something everyone can accept.
If this is all true, if setting up a system of roles, a transparent plan, and consensus-based decisions work so well, why do even good students still struggle so much with group projects? This all sounds great in theory, but what happens when you just have a lazy person on the team? Someone who agrees to the rules but then just doesn't care? A system can't change a person's attitude.
You are right, it can't. But the system changes the situation. Let's imagine that scenario. You have your transparent task board. You've delegated the work. The team has reached a consensus on the plan. A week goes by. One person, let's call him Alex, hasn't moved any of his tasks from the to-do column.
Right, he's being lazy.
Is he? Or is he overwhelmed? Is he confused about the task? Is something happening in his personal life? Without a system, we just assume he's lazy. We get angry, we whisper to our other teammates. It becomes a personal trauma.
And we have no way to talk about it.
But with the system, you can. You can say, hey team, let's look at the board. We see these tasks for the introduction haven't been started yet. Alex, we assigned those to you. Is everything okay? The conversation isn't about Alex's personality. It's about the team's agreement. The system makes you accountable to each other.
So the system makes the problem visible and makes it okay to talk about it. It's not me against Alex. It's the team looking at the plan we all agreed on.
Precisely. And now you have options. Maybe Alex needs help. Maybe a task needs to be broken down into smaller steps. The team needs to clarify what needs to be done. Or, in the rare case that Alex truly doesn't want to work, the team has a clear documented record of the issue. When you have to speak to a professor, you're not just saying Alex is lazy. You're saying, here is our project plan. Here are the tasks we all agreed to. Here is a record showing that these specific tasks were not completed by the agreed deadline. You are reporting a fact, not a feeling.
The system protects you.
It protects the project, and it protects the team from resentment and anxiety. The whole structure is designed to make communication easier and problems visible early.
Okay, so let me see if I get this. The first meeting is critical. We don't talk about the project idea itself. First, we set up our system. We delegate roles so everyone has a responsibility for the project's success, not just their little piece.
Yes.
Then we create a transparent workspace where every single task is visible to everyone. No one can hide. We can see who is doing what and who might need help.
Exactly. And when we have to make big decisions, we don't just vote. We talk until we find a solution everyone can support. We aim for consensus. That way, everyone is on board.
You've got it.
And this whole system makes it so that every team member is accountable not just for their work, but to the team itself. And we need to clarify everything at the beginning so there are no misunderstandings later.
That's the core of it. You build the machine before you try to run it. It's a huge relief.
Why?
Because all my stress came from the feeling that it was out of my control. It was just luck. But this isn't about luck. It's not about hoping for good teammates. It's about having a simple plan to make any team work better. It's a skill, not a lottery. I can learn this.
And you can teach it to your team just by asking a few simple questions in that first meeting.
I almost